What up, random rockers? It's gonna be this is pretty one of my favorites of the years. Here's the ones that didn't make it first. Not in any particular order. No effects. It's first ditch effort. For Avatar, Feathers and Flesh. Then Sevenfold the Stage. Dinosaur Jr., Give a Glimpse of What You're Not. Some 41, 713 voices, sorry. Revolution Radio. Green Day. Brian Fallon, Painkillers. I gave a lot of praise with that one. Not sure how people are going to think about that. Bad Vibrations. By Day Remember. Of course it's not going to make it because it's an EP, sadly. But it is a solid EP and it could make the list if it wasn't an EP, technically. And that would be 4.5 by Stephen Wilson. Yeah, a lot of money shit for this one. Radiohead. A Moon-Shaped Pool. Some people might, some people won't. And that's the White Album from Weezer. Chevelle, The North Corridor, which I liked a lot, but I preferred the other album prior. That's name currently escapes me better than that, which was La Gorola, now that I remember. Blink-182, California, which should get some love. And at least the Grammys kind of are. Don't know if it'll matter. Jimmy World's Integrity Blues, which I thought would be on the list, but once I seen all these other stuff, and of course, sorry, Metallica fans, I love this, but there's just some albums I went and gravitated more towards or bothered to listen to a hell of a lot more for enjoyment out of its entirety, and some of them I had to get online to do it. Yeah. And, of course, yes, Metallica. It's Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Still need to listen to that Lords of Summer track, though. Anyway. Moving on to the actual list, which, of course, is going to be a little feng shui here and there. And a lot of ties, because I just could not leave them off the list. Here and there. And that's, of course, in a sort of, kind of a tie way. I'm gonna... Oh. You know what? Hold on a second, guys. Number 10. Opeth, Sorceress. It's definitely good enough because it got me interested enough to want to hear their discography, what they had to offer throughout the entire years, including the early stuff, and, you know, knowing that they were technically progressive black metal in places in their early stuff, and yet somehow that sounded awesome. Kind of gave me hope to say maybe not all of black metal is complete garbage, no matter what you do with it. Grindcore still has up in the air with that. Of course, I'm not a vegan, so fuck that shit. Anyway. I mean, there's some that are nice, just, you know, if you're being an asshole about it and saying, oh, fuck you, this is blah, 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 yeah, fuck off. That's pretty well what I mean. So yes, it is solid. It is definitely a great, solid effort that proves they can still be kind of heavy in their progs era, enough to allow even the metalheads to at least be, like, finally on board. At least this is a great progression compared to what they had with Heritage and Pale Communion. Sorry for the pause. Have to think. And yeah, that's of course a solid release. Okay, and then number 9 is sort of is one that I don't think a lot of people would think of, because I do like coming back to this record here and there. I mean, some people would probably like, why'd you pick this album over the Opeth record? It's like, because I just started getting into Opeth and stuff like that. Sorry. But this is a band I have been getting into, and I've told you guys about it when I reviewed it, and that band is Sick Puppies, Fury. I don't know if they're going to continue, if whatever direction they're going with is nice. It's kind of a nice slight return to form, but also kind of a new push forward, especially now that Emma is kind of the one really kind of being the one leading the group, technically. Especially a lot more female vocals, and a lot more, and though the guy that they have is a nice replacement for Simon, but, I mean, some people hear that, and especially the bonus tracks, Charlatan and Not Now, are great. Even if you just end it with Here With You, you have these bonus tracks can still serve as part of the album and a good ending. And, of course, now the numbers. And then, of course, hold on a second, guys. Again. We'll be right back. Okay, I believe we're at number 8. And one of the first of many that will be a multi-tie. Of course, I'm talking about Do Not's Corajo. Look it up. It's awesome German. I'm going to say Valkyrie punk. As in, think Operation Valkyrie. I could just say anti-Nazi, but, I figured I'd get people to try to learn their fucking history. I know that there was a group of people out there that were involved during that era in Germany that did not fucking like Hitler, really. But couldn't necessarily say it, and this was their best way to say it, and if you've seen that Tom Cruise movie. If you haven't, then, or at least whatever on History Channel, then you have that, and of course, it's tied between that and another really punk band, Ignite, A War Against You. After 10 years, they come back pretty well with a vengeance, I'd say, even though I haven't really heard their earlier stuff, but, it's definitely got my attention. And of course, then of course, Taking Back Sunday's Tidal Wave. I had fun with this, but I can't vaguely, I remember parts of it, but I can't vaguely remember it enough. I know enough to say I'll keep coming back to it, just not enough to want to really put it up any higher on the list. And there's some other albums in here that I want to mention, but never had a chance to mention. Maybe Proponent of Sentience, which is, hold on. This Proponent of Sentience. Hold on. There you go. And, you like that? I did. Still one of the few albums I'd bother to listen to. I mean, it had to have been on my phone and put it on there for a while to keep it from doing certain things I'm not sure I want to talk about just yet in the video. And, of course, that's another great one. Dude, I believe we're at... Let me pause it so I can think. There's also Car Seat Headrest, Teens of Denial. Kind of recently got into them. It's pretty freaking awesome. Also, to mention, kind of another tie thing. I believe I'm still at number 8. It's going to be a fuck up, guys, because this whole thing, I wanted to make sure all the stuff I got on here, got noticed. And so, I know at some point I'll get to my other numbers if I remember them. I hate when I'm in a clusterfuck, and I apologize for having this be a clusterfuck, because I wanted to have this be right, but it's just never going to happen. Fate just likes to rear its ugly head, especially when its fate happens to be the year of 2016. So, back to the list. We also have Draft Tone Orchestra's Broken Lines, and of course, Dissociation, the last, both speaking of Ben Wyman. Dissociation, Dillinger Escape Plan, the last we'll ever hear from them. Definitely worth checking out for sure. And I believe, hopefully, if we're doing this right, I'll be at my number, hopefully 6 or 7. Maybe I'll just put it at 7. Fuck it. Make it at 7. And we'll have this also there, along with the others that are probably at 8 or 7. Yeah, I know, I'm fucked up. I don't care at this point. I want to make sure all these albums get the due diligence they deserve. And hopefully we'll get back on track the list once those albums in this clusterfuck of the first half of this list are out of the damn way. Well, Last Hero, I like this record, but I just found another artist that also happened to be involved with this band, had honestly a better album. And it was like and I didn't think of it that way at first when I reviewed it, but I don't mean this one. I mean, of course, with this, I like the last album, Fortress, a hell of a lot better, and even all the other stuff. This one seems a little bit of a letdown, but it's definitely kind of in a similar situation with maybe those past 2 records, in the fact that it is a grower, not so much a shower, or something like that, I guess. That doesn't sound so perverted. And I believe we're probably about at number 5 or so, and I guess I'm going to leave this one maybe as a tie. Or actually, you know what? Nah. This one's going to be a little tougher, actually, than it before. I'm going to just... Gore. It's choice. It's pretty choice. And I'd say that after listening to it a little while, I have to say this 3 in a row, guys. Ever since Diamond Eyes. I mean, you've finally proven you can kick ass again. And in your own way, just like Radiohead, which, didn't make this list, and I like it, but I still would prefer to just go back to their earlier stuff, as opposed to that. Even the 2 albums before that, In Rainbows, was a little bit more interesting of an album than that one was, of course. And now, but Gore, tracks like Phantom Bride, Hearts and Wires are clearly some of the big ones. Xenon's pretty cool too. Just a lot of cool riffs. Very Isis meets Alice in Chainsy. Kind of ironic given the Jerry Cantrell's contribution on Phantom Bride. Right. Of course, speaking of what I was talking about, Tremonti, Dust. Yeah, it's not much higher on the list because there was a lot of good music out this year and a lot better music. The Cage, I started to really... Last Stake's a good starter, but The Cage really just has you hooked in a lot. It's not bad for like a grindcore kind of deathy sort of drummer thing, but, the title track's still the longest and the most kick-ass of them all. Unable to See is a good closer, especially for being a softer closer. Shows a good amount of the softer rock side in a heavier kind of way. It's good, and I still look forward to what Tremonti may put out maybe next year or the year after, depending on when he decides to come up with new material. Well, keep it up, Mark, and the rest of the boys involved in this project. Which leaves me with... In case I didn't say my number 8s or so, I guess, or 7, the tie between Disassociation and this, because apparently I was doing this and paused. I hate when I do that. But yes, guys. Of course, Tremonti, and this album tied with it too, I guess. Tremonti, Dust. Dust was number 4, this was number 5. Gore, Deftones. I'm so sorry, guys, to the band members who wanted something better to hear out of a countdown. And number 3, of course, was tied between the Astronoid Air and Periphery Select Difficulty. Loon is great. Absalon has a good flame. Flatlines is a great track too. Motor Mouth's a good heavy song compared to What the Price is Wrong, which has gotten a Grammy. Nonetheless, I don't know if that track deserves it. There are others, but if it wins it, that'd be cool, I guess. Good for you and you, but there are better tracks here. I would have picked Motor Mouth, honestly, if we're going with a heavy song, but if they wanted to do softer type songs, like the Marigold, The Way the News Goes, Remain Indoors, Flatline, Catch Fire, and of course, Loon or Lune, however you pronounce it, doesn't matter. It is the best thing to cap off this album for sure. I had to tie it with this, which is a good feel-good record, but there's another feel-good album that I just could not stay away from. In fact, it's my highest viewed, and it nearly took out what the number 1 would have been, and I think I just couldn't get it out of my head for sure. And that, my friends, Devin Townsend Project Transcendence, the 7th under the DTP name, but like the 30th of his overall in terms of just his solo stuff in general, whether it be with Devin Townsend Project, or even maybe with Strapping Young Lad stuff, which I have yet to check out myself. There's a lot of vast music. It's going to be hard to collect. I may have to get a whole new box thing just to have all Devin Townsend stuff in it to collect. That's how much his discography is. If you've seen my stuff that I had from last year's thing on my Facebook. Oh, but every song, even the first 5 had the sort of a concept thing, and then I think the latter half just kind of was just morsels of other things here and there, but with the just beautiful production, feels like a churchy kind of thing, or something very atmospherically heavenly, or heavenly atmospheric, I should say. Yeah, that makes more sense. And a good solid cover of Transdermal Celebration by Ween. that's you can take slightly more seriously, I guess, compared to the original, especially given the guy's vocals on that is Transdermal Celebration, something like that. Whew. But I mean, From the Hearts is a good love song. I almost was like for like a little while before listening to it over and over a while, I almost thought I would use it for like a slow dance with my wife, my future wife. I mean, who I know I have met. Yes, Steve, if you're watching, no, it hasn't happened yet. Still waiting to get a ring. Don't tell anyone about this in the video, from this part of the video. Unless she's watching, and then she knows, and all my buddies, shh the fuck up. I still want to try to surprise her when it does happen, which it ain't happening. I mean, it's going to be like a few years down the road, so don't worry about it. At least I'll let you know that, so I'll clear that up. And even the bonus disc I didn't get a chance to talk about, was fucking, Holding Patterns is fucking awesome too. I mean, Knucklehead, I can't get enough of. It's just such a good psychobilly kind of thing. Perfectly balancing rockabilly, 80s rockabilly with a lot of them, even the Clammin' Ladies and stuff like that. So, but my number one, I just couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop wanting to listen to it though. But even though I was distracted by that one, but that number one is y'all fucking knew what it was gonna be regardless. It came close. Devin could have beat it out, but I hear some shaking in there. That's odd. But whatever. But this album is fucking sweet. I mean, come on, guys. Like, only Crash Thompson gave it love. I might be the only son of a bitch here who probably has it as your number one. As it fucking deserves to be. I mean, shirt, hat. Good luck at the back here. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've already went on and on about this in my one video, which somehow got surpassed by Last Corridor from Chevelle, which was good, but not La Gorgola good. But damn, son, that album just, from the moments of from Hurricane to fucking, Hurricane to Blood in the Sand, just every fucking track is awesome. Some tracks that I didn't care for least, I wound up caring even more for, like Salt and Shadow, if I'm even saying that track name right, which I hopefully I am. I mean, it's even the middle, this is 11-track album, and the middle half that kind of serves as this intermission or interlude between the first five and between the first 5 tracks and the next 5. Sienna is perfect as well, especially following up the Long Defeat, which did exactly what I said it would do when they would play it live, and I was happy for that when I saw them. I mean, fuck, guys. They killed it live on every single song they did, past and present, like they did when they put on CD. That's, not only is that talent, they also know how to make their sound fucking amazing no matter everywhere they go. From the studio to live, they knew what the fuck, what the fuck they are doing. And Thrice, I mean, political speaking, and it's actually, hell, I would even recommend you to go to Crash Thompson. He makes a good point about tracks like Death from Above, and it hits harder, it hits so hard too. When they have to hit hard, they hit hard. And when they try to, soften the blows that may come later, they know how to do it well. Especially given that some of these tracks are very reminiscent of what Dustin has released recently with this last solo album from last year that I might have put on my list last year. I've yet to check that one again. I'm not sure why, but again, fucking, God. And then I know someone who says, "Oh, it was all right," dude. Have you ever listened between they have not hit this hard since Artists in the Ambulance. They have not been this eclectic since Viashu. They found a perfect balance in between, but yet brought that certain sort of Alchemy Index level creativity and sort of that perfect, whatever they were leaving off with since Beggars, which is fucking solid as fuck, my number 3 if you haven't checked out that list. And and of course, Major Minor, which though nowhere near. I mean, this album surpasses what they already did with Major Minor. And Major Minor, at least when they ended things off, you felt like if that album was the last, then what a way to cap this off. But this album, what a fucking comeback for Thrice after 5 years. It took Brand New, who's breaking up in 2018, not going to probably give us an album. This was at least a nice little thing to say. This was the only thing Brand New probably did right in so many years. Music-oriented, was bringing Thrice back and allowing them to come back with a vengeance. Creatively speaking, this is probably their best in that regard since Alchemy Index. But in terms of the sort of level of experimentation, which Viashu did first before Alchemy Index, Alchemy Index just found a way to break apart what they did with Vishu and fucking rework it right. That's what they did, was take what they did with Vishu. They do the same Vishu Alchemy Index sort of thing, but with more of the creative aspect of Alchemy Index. The sort of more indie-ish, perfect blending, and plus every track seems to just connect or have a connective tissue towards each other so easily well. Some tracks, they end their own thing and then it kind of goes. But some tracks, they find ways to actually interweave within each other in some way. I mean, seriously, even the Window, Wake Up. So like I said, the One Defeat. So, Black Honey's, I don't know how many times it's been getting played on the point, but every time I do, I enjoy it because it's like, this is a band that deserves the damn love that they've been getting or we've been waiting to give them for years since even after it broke up. It seemed like that within those 5 years, more people started to enjoy their discography. Even if you were lukewarm, this album just instantaneously, and Stay With Me is a good track. It's a good sort of love song in a way, in its own right. Death From Above hurts. Whistleblower, another good one. And Salt and Shadow ends things off in a very similar way, as I said, with just, I can't talk enough or not want to listen to this album and not want to go back and listen to Thrice. That's another thing. An album that's so damn good that you already know how good they were before, but to hear that them just reach this level of greatness that they haven't reached since an album like Artists in the Ambulance. Some may say Viashu, or Vishu, or however you pronounce it. I may have butchered it dozens of times over this past year, and maybe I got it right once. Overall, if there is one album you have to go out and get, no matter who you are, this is the one you have to get. It hits on many notes, even some politically charged, some on a personal level, with even tracks like Stay With Me, as I said, and even Long Defeat. Just good piss pump in the air, just shout in the air. Here together we'll fight the long defeat. Though not as, I can't do it as good and raspy and gnarly as Dustin can. It's like one of the few bands that have a singer that knows how to have a good, that is a man and actually sings like a man. Has a beard like a man too. And of course, it takes having kids and preaching to a choir to make you realize how much a fucking man you can be. Jesus. Yes. What you think of my list? What are your top 10-ish albums that came out this year? Sorry for the printer noise. This entire thing has been random. Random as hell. Far more than the last one. I was hoping to be more structured, a little more organized, but it's not that easy for me, I guess, to do this with the albums. Like I said, it was going to be hard for me to do this one. And you just had to get the first take, and that was all you can get. Because if I didn't do it now, it wouldn't be up when I wanted it to be, which it still didn't. That's just how life is. And also announcing, I don't know if I'll be back next year. I want to be. I just don't know if I will be because... So I wanted this out before the end of the year. That's why... I'm hoping to get this up before the end of the year sometime. I gotta find a place that has a bunch of Wi-Fi that will allow me to upload this before the end of the year, and hopefully we'll cap off and end the year proper somehow, some way. But yeah, overall, guys, I mean, for music, it's been a solid year, and there's a lot I wasn't able to get to, and whatever you want to say, leave it in a comment below. Let me know if you like this video, for even the mess, the random ass mess, glorious, beautiful mess that it may as well be. Comment below, let me know. Rock that like button with thrust if you must, guys. And as always, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. And if you see me next time, check on one of my particular videos. You'll kind of know I might do something slightly different. And that slightly different thing will be, it may seem like a gimmick, but honestly, if you knew me personally, you'd seen me with this a lot of the time. And you probably will throughout majority of 2017. So hopefully you'll enjoy what I have to offer with this final farewell 2016. You've been a crappy enough year. We've lost enough as it is. Just hoping I don't lose anything else in the process. Let's end this year and hope that 2017 is a better year and that Trump can't fuck shit up. Even though I'm hearing he might as well already be, because he's saying fuck the UN, and that's like, you may as well tell the rest, might as well just be saying fuck the world and fucking the entire country. I didn't care for Hillary either, so if that helps make some of you people who are Trump supporters feel somewhat better, but also Hillary supporters, even though it doesn't fucking matter anymore. It's too late for all this, for us to get a third party thing or something. It's just I'm just glad to be done, finally done, not only done with this list, finally happy to at least give you something good out of 2016, even if it was cluster fucked to shit. I just hope you, for what it was, you kind of enjoyed this video for all the randomness that came about from it. I mean, it's been such a year. I mean, the best thing that came out of this year, aside from music for me, was pretty well my girl Rita, who I'm hoping is watching this, or at least at this point. And I said some other things that you shouldn't have to worry about, and it's probably going to be embarrassing, especially if your brother sees this, which he probably will, and a few of my friends. So, but, you know, I've already been embarrassed enough as it is, just from starting this whole thing in Facebook. But yeah, guys, it's a clusterfuck, but you're going to have to deal with it, and hopefully whatever music I did give you, and maybe for the ones I did for using the computer here, for the digital releases that I wound up having to get, I'll probably at least leave them in the comments, at least to let you know, here's some of those things on the top 10-ish that I was talking about that maybe you didn't see. I'll probably leave that in the comments somehow, some way if I remember to. If not, go ahead and comment below and remind me if you have to. it's any help is needed. Especially, hell, I'd like at least one more subscriber, at least to end the year off, at least knowing I have at least 20. Something, I guess. Regardless, I enjoyed our time. If I don't see you next year, shame this had to be the last one, especially given how disorganized it is, but if not, hopefully we'll have a fun 2017 together. I mean, for fuck's sake, we're gonna get System coming back, guys. System's coming back. We got apparently a new AFI starts this year. Even though I haven't been much of a fan, but I know by the time the new year starts, and when my dad is back in full swing, I'm gonna be definitely cranking out albums from AFI just to prep up for sure. Yeah, it's long, even longer than the other ones, probably because I've ranted too much instead of talking about what you all came here to see. I don't care. Once more, finally, hopefully properly ending this thing. And maybe the end of what I may have to do here, I don't know. But hopefully you guys enjoy these albums. Find a time to enjoy these albums on your time off, if you can. But as always, guys, just keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. And hopefully, if at all, I'll see you next year. If not, and if Dad gets his way, it's nice knowing you. It is nice to have at least tried to give you these reviews. Clusterfucked or not. Clusterfucked or organized or disorganized, doesn't matter. I still had fun trying to do this. Even if I was frustrated, I still had more fun doing this than just being frustrated, as opposed to just being frustrated. If anything, my frustration was more the fact that I've not been able to get to doing it when I would have liked to have done it. Because it would have been better that way. In fact, those albums that you viewed is because I actually was able to find a way to make time to give it to you when it actually came out. That's why those are probably views are as big as they are. I don't know. You tell me why that was the case if y'all want to. But regardless, guys, I'm continually going on. Like I said, I can't stop rambling on. This video is going to be long as hell. Me ranting. Not even talking about music anymore. Once again, hopefully I see you next year. If not, it's nice knowing you. But if either way, as always, just keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking, and I hope I see you next year. If not, it's been nice knowing you. Knowing all you random rockers out there. Always just keep being random rockers and hopefully be patient, and maybe somehow, some way I might make a comeback if I don't continue doing things like I have been this past year. Or 2, I should say, and a half, maybe. Year and a half or so. Regardless, take care. Peace out.